Hello. Here we go with 2 abundance codes. Hi, how are you? I feel like I'm really close to my camera here, so I'm gonna pull back a little bit. There we go. Okay, and I'm cooking. How are you today, ladies? So, from reading your comments, it seems like you've been liking the abundance grid activations so far. We are now programming them with 2 more abundance codes today. So when we go in and I guide you through this meditation, you can either conjure up, it really doesn't matter because all the energy feeds into each other, but however you want to imagine either your Merkaba field when we activate these 2 abundance codes of truth and prosperity today. You can use it to activate your Merkaba field and visualize that, or the original abundance grid that we did in Abundance Grid Activation 1. It's really up to you. You can imagine both. However you want to do it, it's perfect and right for you. So what do we need to know about, let me get some water, first of all. It's very dry up here. Hi, Olivia. So excuse me if I keep clearing my throat. So we are bringing in truth and prosperity today. So remember what I've been talking about in that we have defined our experience through 3D reality. We have connections to words, the way they resonate in our being, in our energy fields, because of the definitions of the words that are sufficient for us in explaining our experience in 3D. All of this is changing. All of this is shifting. So when you take 2 words like truth and prosperity, or any other of the 9 abundance codes that we're bringing in this month, we are not only bringing in another essence, another layer of what these words mean and how they resonate in our personal energy field and our grids. Had a call come in. We are redefining it in terms of the essence of 5D. And the essence of 5D is all about understanding this shift, this increase in vibration. We are all experiencing this shift, this increase in our vibration. That includes everything that's part of our experience then, including the words that we use, okay? Including how we, the relationships that we form, relationships to people, relationships to parts of our lives, relationships to aspects of self. Everything's redefining, and everything with that redefinition is being refined, crystallized, distilled to an essence. And the essence being of a higher vibration that resonates more with love, kindness, receptivity, awareness, spiritual growth, and expansion. And so when we talk about a word like prosperity, we are not only talking about financial prosperity, we're not talking about just, when we think of the word prosperity, especially the way it gets anchored in the rigid confines of a 3D definition, we think of prosperity as growing in our financial wealth. We're becoming more successful, right? Well, that is true. When we bring in this abundance code today, we are adding another layer to this. We are expanding it. We are, in essence, redefining it in terms of prosperity is linking our awareness, expanding our awareness to such a degree that we are recognizing now all of the opportunities, the people, the places, the situations that align us with the prosperity, the success, the financial growth, whatever that is for you, however you define prosperity for you, taking all those situations that line us up with that, allowing us to expand our awareness so we can see it, so we can feel it. We recognize it when opportunities show up that are aligning us with our highest good, with what we want to create, okay? So when we bring in this prosperity, abundance, light code today, that's what we're talking about. Bringing in this expanded awareness of being able to see, those opportunities that line us up with things that will make us more prosperous, if that makes sense. That's the best way to explain it. It will feel more expansive for you when we bring it in today. And I can't define what your experience is going to be. I can only guide you through, this broad stroke of what this will feel like for you. But because all of these abundance codes, and because, you know, the essence that we're leaning into in 5D is so experiential, I can't even begin to explain to you what your experience is going to be. It will be very individualized for you. Much like all these abundance codes that we bring in this month, you're going to be feeling very special, very individualized, catered to your essence, okay? And then the truth. With truth, we're talking about truth with a capital T, this spiritual truth. This is an especially wonderful thing to bring in right now, because with the power surge that we're experiencing with the Mercury retrograde, we're still coming off the heels of the full supermoon in Gemini. We have solar storms that are happening. This power surge, this incredibly high transmission of light energies that are coming in, really can bring this projection down here on our level to make us feel this really piercing, intense sense of duality. We have some difficulty when we feel so caught in limbo between this duality of what is falling away and what we are becoming. That's the duality I'm talking about. It can be hard for us to discern what is truth, to have clarity on what is truth, what is true for us, who are we truly in our infinite nature. Okay, so what this brings in here today, this abundance light code, is more of a crystallization of who we are in our spiritual truth. Putting certain structures in place, in our energetic structures I'm talking about, that allow us to anchor more into who we are in our infinite spiritual truth. And then give us the awakening, the energizing of spirit to be able to act on that spiritual truth. Not only to discern what it is during this time of duality, or any time you experience of duality, but to be able to have the clarity of thought, of mind, of energy, to then be able to act on what it is that is our spiritual truth. To lean into that essence then, instead of leaning into the fear, the anxiety, the worry, the panic, all of those negative, low-frequency energies that are aligned with the sheaths, the layers falling away that are part of our ego consciousness. Does that make sense? So that's what we're doing here today. Sounds pretty good, right? So in terms of the activation itself and bringing in these codes, it's fairly short. So all you have to do is get comfortable, get yourself in a place of receiving, of just allowing this energy to come in. That's all you have to do on your end here today. I have some music going in the background, which I just love. This is increased spiritual connection music, 4.5 hertz, the theta waves, and I think I shared this with you the other day. But you know me, I like to share. So I'm going to put that in here. And remember, if you are really wanting to anchor more of this, more of the awareness and the expansiveness of what we're doing here this month, hey Sarah, I highly, highly, highly recommend the chakra course, because this is going to clear out a lot of the old frozen miasms, the frozen beliefs that we hold at each chakra level. And then we're going to go beyond that. So I've taught this course once before, but I have added things onto it this time around that's going to take you beyond the 7 chakras. And not only is this a beautiful clearing of old energy that needs to go, sheaths that are falling away, paradigms that are being burned off, that are dissolving, making room energetically for you to bring in more of an awareness that's anchored in the realms of and the portals of awareness that come through with the galactic chakra, the universal chakra, the soul star chakra, and the causal chakra. So this is really a journey through the chakras. It's a journey through yourself. It really is. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's absolutely true. And it is really an awakening process. And in 8 weeks together, it's going to be transformative. So if you've been on the fence about joining this course, understand that the early bird pricing on it, first of all, goes away this Saturday. So you guys get it for less because you're here in HHA with HAA with me. I'm adding consonants. You guys get it for $2.99, or you can do 2 monthly payments of $169. For an 8-week course, this is incredibly affordable. The price does go up for after the 16th. So after this Saturday, the price goes up to $399. So if you are really feeling like this is, it's tugging at you, I highly recommend getting in on this course. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so think about that. So all you have to do, hey, Becky's here too. Hey, lady. So all you guys have to do, you missed my little spiel, Becky, but you can go back and watch from the beginning, the first, couple minutes. So all you have to do here today is put yourself in, give yourself permission to allow and receive. And again, when I walk you through this guided meditation, you can either choose to envision and go into the essence of, and I do encourage you to go into the essence of either your Merkaba field that we did in the Abundance Grid Activation 2, or you can envision and go into the essence of Abundance Grid Activation 1. It really doesn't matter what you envision, because all these energy fields, they are linked and they feed into and off of each other. So it doesn't matter which one you envision, it will still inform the other grid, because they're all working together in tandem. They're all working together as a unified energy field. Okay? So get yourselves comfy. Lay down, sit down, whatever you want to do. If you are seated, it's nice to have your feet flat on the floor, so you get that extra boost of connection from Mama Earth. That's really interesting. I have, right off the bat, I have Metatron coming in, which is really great, and I have Sandalphon here too. Just seeing who else wants to show up. I don't always know what guides come through. I'm not hung up on names or identities. I always call forth 100% pure love and light. So whoever wants to join that vibration and align with that vibration, I welcome them. So just kind of checking in here and taking inventory, seeing who else is showing up here. Kuan Yin, of course, my partner in crime. She's always with me. Thank you, Kuan Yin. Who else is here? I have a few Ascended Masters showing up that I've worked with before, and I don't know their names, but they wanted to come through and assist. And I'm calling forth all of your guides, all spirits of 100% pure love and light who would like to come in and assist here today. You are most welcome. And I'm activating a golden sphere around all of our energies here. For all of us watching now and all of the ladies watching in the replays, gather them into the sacred space now. And so it is. Thank you. We have a lot of, I don't know if you guys can feel into what's been happening, but we've had a lot of clearing take place over the last 48 hours. Maybe some of you have been feeling it, and it's like we're having this break in the clouds. It's felt like very active energy in terms of a stripping away, and so now there's just kind of like this feeling of the dust settling, and after the recalibrating has been taking place, and it's going to continue, it's continuing, but it's less intense than it has been over the last 48 hours, so this is a great time to bring these in, because we're in less of a guarded mode and more of a receptive mode. So what I'm doing here is I'm just recalibrating like this whole space. I'm kind of looking to see where structures have been forming for you, what's been clearing, what's been activating, what is being activated. And then I'm just kind of going through and then creating a harmonic. This is something I would love to teach a master class on, because this is such a beautiful way to begin group work. It energetically creates a harmonic so that we are all kind of on this, but on the same wavelength of receiving. So no matter where we are energetically, we can go in and, as healers, light workers, we can go in and kind of find that common thread. So the best way to explain it is me going in energetically into all of our energies as we're in the golden sphere together and we're sharing this space, going in and finding this common thread that we're holding, and it's like finding this common harmonic, and then I don't want to say attach because that sounds pejorative, but going in and then kind of capturing, let's say capturing this harmonic, and then moving into the space and pulling parts of all of your energies in. I'm seeing like, so light structures that go in and are like, yes, this is the harmonic. And that part of you is being captured, and we're all sharing this harmonic together. I don't know how else to explain it. But that's how I begin work with you guys. And that's why some of you have these really profound transmissions, because I always start the work in this way. Is that something I should teach? It feels like it could be another masterclass. All right. So if they aren't already, go ahead and close your eyes. Get yourself centered and grounded by simply following the breath. The breath is life. The breath is the present moment, the only moment, the moment of pure creation. Allow the monkey chatter that exists in the linear mind to just go in and focus on the breath. The breath as it is evenly rising and falling in the chest center as you inhale and exhale. With each breath, bringing yourself further and further into the present moment. And as you exhale, releasing any energy or attachment in your energy that you have on tasks that need to be done later on, today, this week, this month, the rest of this year. Anywhere your attention or your focus is elsewhere. Simply bringing it back to the breath, becoming one with the present moment, and letting everything else just slide away. Calling back all parts and pieces of you, all soul fragments washed clean in God's light. And as you take your next deep breath in, imagine pulling in all the light, the love, the support that is around you at all times, breathing it in, and allowing it to settle in the chest center, in the heart. Allowing this love and light now to expand into the chest, the heart, the lungs, into the throat, up to the top of the head, going down through the body, through the shoulders, the back of the neck, down the spinal column, down the arms all the way to the fingertips, through the torso, going down to the belly, from the upper back to the mid back to the lower back, down into the hips, going down through the legs, filling up the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, down through the soles of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you imagine this love and light filling up your whole being, imagine this turns this gorgeous golden sparkling light. Filling up your whole being, every part of the physical body. See how this golden light reaches the outer dimensions of your whole being now? And now beginning to expand outward, just outside the dimensions of the physical body, expanding out in all directions. this light filling up beyond the physical body into the aura, the etheric body, and all the way out to the furthest reaches that you can imagine into the astral body, expanding out in all directions. And just allow yourself to bask in these energies, allowing yourself to feel re-energized and invigorated by this love and light, fully supported, fully nourished in mind, body, spirit. And now go back into the center of your heart and allow more of this golden energy to simply pool there, to collect there, into a ball of golden shimmering light, so bright, illuminating the chest center and filling you up. And now imagine this extending upward, this ball of light, this shaft or column of energy of golden light extending up and out through the crown, all the way up through the ether, going up past the planet, further up, past the layers of lights beyond the universe, going further up still, and all the way up into the highest version of your higher self, straight through the heart of your higher self, connecting you and anchoring you into the most divine aspect of who you are, and continuing up further still and into the bright white sparkly lights of the seventh plane, connecting with the energy of all that is, allowing this golden cord of connection to anchor there, connecting with the realm of pure creation, love and light. And now follow this cord of connection all the way back down, in through the crown of the head, back into the heart space, and back into this ball of energy. And allow another shaft, a column of light, to extend from this ball of energy, going downward through the body, all the way down and out through the soles of the feet, through all the layers, all the strata of the earth, through dirt and rock and crystal, reaching all the way down to the crystalline core of Mother Earth, and allowing this golden cord of connection to anchor there, into the wisdom, the abundance, the knowledge of Mother Earth, the unconditional loving support that you feel there. And now you are divinely connected through your heart space in this golden energy to the realms above, to the heart of creation above. And through your heart space in this golden cord of connection that connects you to the crystalline core of Mother Earth and her loving, unconditional support below. And in your mind's eye, begin to see the form of your abundance grid. See it start to form around your body. And this can either be your Merkaba field, and your own individual Merkaba that you created, or it can be the energy healing grid that we created in the first abundance grid activation. Doesn't matter. Whatever you see is perfect and right for you at this time. But take this vision further as it is beginning to form, and feel into the essence of this grid or this Merkaba field. What does it feel like for you? What feels expansive here? If you are imagining your Merkaba field, how fast is it spinning? All the parts and moving pieces. The two triangles that form the tetrahedron, how fast or how slow are they spinning? If it doesn't feel right for you at this time, know that your energy can impact the energy of this Merkaba field or this abundance grid, because they are one and the same. Are there any parts that are in stasis, that don't feel energized? Simply breathe into it. And with your intention, send a higher vibration to it. Pure love and light. Your breath is the activator. Simply allow it to flow to areas that feel restricted or constricted, tense, that are static, moving too slow, moving too fast. Know that with the breath you can change the dynamic of any parts of this grid or Merkaba field at any time. If you are imagining your abundance grid, what parts of the grid are lighting up at this time? What parts of these grid that are hovering over parts of the body are being lit up at this time? Simply notice it. Is your attention being called to this area because you need to breathe life into that? Does there feel like there's shadow there, resistance? Does it feel like there is a surge of energy there that needs to be balanced to create a harmonic that ignites or resonates through the whole grid? Simply send the breath there and adjust it. This is your grid. You control it. Creator, it is commanded to activate the prosperity light code now. Thank you. Feeling this light up over the heart space for all of you as we bring in this prosperity light code. And I'm seeing it like if you had a pot of ink and it spilled onto a paper or a blotter, and how the ink would wash over and soak through that whole blotter or piece of paper. That's how I'm seeing this come in. It's literally saturating you with this light code. You may be feeling this more keenly in certain parts of the body. Just create awareness of where that is and observe it without judgment. Just observe it from a neutral space, knowing that this light code has its own intelligence and it will go where it needs to. And I'm being shown that as this saturates your whole being, you are bringing awareness into parts of the body that may have been dormant. Bringing in an increased activation of all your 5 normal perceiving senses, but bringing in more of a perception in the clairs. And this is for all of you, so that you may create more expansive awareness in seeing, hearing, tasting, feeling, knowing the signs, the messages, the symbols that are coming in for you, that are signaling you to pay more attention, because these are opportunities that are coming in that are allowing you to align with what it is that will help you create more prosperity. However you define that for yourself, more success in career, in love, more financial wealth, whatever that is for you, however you define prosperity. You are being washed through with this light code, informing all aspects of your being within the physical body and without, reverberating through all the energetic sheaths in and around the body, in the aura, in the etheric body, in the astral body, and in either your Merkaba field, your abundance healing grid, or both. And as that continues to resonate throughout your being and inform your grids, Creator, it is commanded to activate the abundance light code truth now. Thank you. Okay, right away we're feeling this in the pineal gland, in the pituitary. So I'm seeing that go right in the pineal gland. Some of you may feel a little pressure here in the third eye. That's okay. It's going to regulate in just a sec. Just give it a sec. If you want, go ahead and take your right hand and put it over your brow. Okay. Okay, and now I'm being shown to take your hand and then put it over your heart. And this is going to allow the intensity of what you're feeling in your pineal gland to go into the heart space, and that's okay. Just take a deep breath. If you feel like you're going out of your body here, just take a deep breath and direct the energy. Where else do you want to feel this in your body? You get to direct it. Take your hand and move it either over the heart space, move it into your belly, put it on top of your legs, put it on your knees, so that you move forward in truth. Onto your legs, so that you move forward in truth. Wherever you feel energetically you want to direct it, wherever you feel prompted or nudged to direct this energy, simply take your hand, put it over your pineal gland, over the third eye. Allow the energy to be absorbed into the hand. We're working with really dynamic energy here, ladies. You get to direct it any way you want to, okay? And then take it and put it in your arms. Put it into your hands. Put your hands together so that whenever you express yourself in truth. Put it over your throat so that you speak your spiritual truth. Put it over your heart so you always know when you are in your truth. Put it over your higher heart so that you always feel and express and bring forth who you are from the most infinite aspect of who you are, your most divine essence of spiritual truth. Oh, this feels so expansive. This feels so beautiful. Simply allowing this to resonate. And this feels different than the way hold on, I'm just kind of riding a wave here. This feels different than bringing in prosperity, where it felt like an ink blotter and us being saturated. This feels like bursts or pulses, and I'm wondering if any of you are having these experiences as well. But it's like, good analogy, hey, it's Christmas time, right? Like when we see those Christmas lights that are like pulsed light coming in bursts, it feels like that. And it feels very like a golden silvery. And again, if this feels like it's too big or it's too much, go ahead and ask that the volume be turned down. Tune into your grid, breathe into your grid, and direct the energy so it doesn't feel so intensified in certain places. Ask your guides to help you spread this energy out. You know, like taking butter and spreading it over toast. Spread it over the whole thing so it doesn't just get globbed into one area. Globbed is not the best word, but that's just what came in. Spread it out. You have the power to do that. And if it feels like too much, you can also do a really interesting thing that I've learned how to do, and it's fun. Ask for a time release burst of energy on this, so that you experience it throughout the day and into the night, instead of experiencing a heightened intensity of it all at once. You can always ask to have this done. You get to control this dynamic energy. It's always within your power to do that. Remember that. Allowing this to continue to run. I'm still feeling this coming in really strongly for all of you, so let's just go ahead and ride this wave. And notice how these energies may be commingling with each other, informing each other and communicating with each other and reaching a harmonic with these two. Not only a harmonic with the entirety of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being, but how these relate and have a harmonic with each other that are being created as well. And just for a moment more, continuing to allow these energies to inform all of the structures of your being, within and without. And start to gently now pull your energy back. This is starting to soften here a little bit. Pulling your energy back from that golden cord of connection, anchoring you in the 7th plane. Begin to pull this down, all the way back down and through the heart of the higher self, into the crown of the head, and back into your heart space. Continuing down through the body, all the way down to the core of Mother Earth. And as this golden cord of connection, you follow that line of energy back into the crystalline core of Mother Earth. You can ask Gaia to cleanse or heal or release any lingering energies here that are not part of this vibration. Simply allowing them to be dissolved and collapsing any timelines that go right along with that are supporting a vibration that doesn't align with this. Thank you, Gaia. And bringing your energy back up and beginning to dissolve the energy of the grid now, whether it is your Merkaba field or your abundance grid activation, your healing grid. Just allowing it to gently dissolve. The mind's eye vision of it that you're holding and the essence of it just beginning to dissipate, dissolve. And becoming aware now of the golden sphere of energy that is around you, that is extended out into your astral field. Just feeling into that golden energy once more, breathing it in. Knowing that you are held, supported, and nurtured as you continue to integrate and process these energies brought in here today. And begin to bring the energy of this golden sphere, of this golden light, back in, pulling it back into the physical body and back into the heart space, where you see this golden ball of light becoming smaller and smaller until it becomes just this golden pinpoint of energy in the heart space. And taking a deep breath in, and on the exhale, grounding the energy back in the physical body by breathing deep into the belly. And I want to make sure you're grounded here, so Taking another very deep breath in, and on the exhale, pushing the energy deep into the belly, about 3 inches below the navel and 3 inches inward. Feeling the temperature of the room on your skin. You can roll your neck on your shoulders, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If you're seated, putting your feet flat on the ground and feeling that physical connection with Mother Earth. And when you're ready and this process feels complete, take another deep breath in and open your eyes. I gotta tell you, that was intense for me. And it's always more intense when I haven't eaten, and I was being told not to eat before this, and so I didn't eat. And so this felt even more intensified for me. But I'd really love to know how that felt for you. Yeah, that was intense. How does everybody feel? I can feel you guys typing. I highly recommend listening to this one again. This might have knocked some of you out a little bit and may have been really intense for you. So the second time you run it, I'm being told it's not going to be as intense. Or feels so, what's the word I'm looking for? Radical. Very intense. During part 1, suddenly tasted something bitter, like a chewed up aspirin. Oh, that's interesting. What was being released there? I'm just seeing that as old identity being washed away. And sometimes when we have that sheath, we're losing that sheath, or we're losing that layer, or we are casting away that vibration that doesn't really resonate with where we are and what we're moving into, we'll feel it as a physical intensity in the body. We'll feel it in the back of the neck. We'll taste it. We'll smell it. And that's, yeah, moving out. I'm moving out. Whew. Anybody else want to comment? That was wild. And so I saw some really interesting structures moving into my Merkaba field as I activated that. I don't know if you guys are old enough, some of you are old enough to remember the game Spirograph. Do you remember Spirograph? It was like, it came out in the 70s. It was when I was a little kid, and it was like all these different geometrical shapes, and you had different colored pens, and you could make these crazy things, and you know, they looked like fractals and all kinds of fun stuff. But I was seeing that it was like a giant game of Spirograph, like the ones I used to make when, and I was seeing that as a hologram over and through my Merkaba field. It was really cool. Love Spirograph. Yeah, Catherine. What did Becky say? Yes, it was intense for Sarah. Lots of trees and a stag, powerful earth energy. I first went through a wormhole at the beginning. I wish I didn't have that cheese stick before we started. Yeah, I don't know exactly why I was guided not to eat. But yeah, so I listened to that. So what is really something we can anchor into here, Becky says yes. Olivia says she saw her Merkaba. Yeah. And we're adding structures. So what I really want you to anchor into here is that as we continue to activate our grids throughout this month, we are adding structures. What that means is that we're adding tools. So don't get freaked out that, you know, suddenly you'll start hearing more things through clairaudience, or you will start seeing more things in your periphery. Being tuned into, and this happened for me the other day. I was just I was in the grocery store. I was checking out in the checkout line, and the grocery clerk, we were having a little banter, and suddenly I just stopped listening to what she was saying, and I just felt like this, like when you watch a camera zoom in on somebody, I zoomed into her throat chakra, and I was hearing things come from her throat chakra. At first it totally freaked me out, and I was like, oh, so this is just another one of those tools that are coming in. And it was me like zooming into her spiritual truth, and I heard what she was really saying, and I kind of zoned in on some fear that she was holding and whatever, and I wasn't in a place of judgment. I was just kind of observing it. And believe me, I was a little too freaked out by my own thing that was going on that I was not in a place to be in judgment. But there's things that are going to be coming in for you. Try not to go into that place of judgment. Try to take a moment, take a knee, go into the breath. Always go into the breath, because it's going to help you discern what's happening. It will help to guide you. Whenever we bring ourselves into the present moment, we are in the place to discern our experience, to get clarity on our experience. So try not to go into that fear mode. I know it's hard at first, especially when we're being presented with new structures, new tools that are coming in. It's hard not to get freaked out, but try really hard not to go into that. Bring yourself into the breath. Feel yourself grounded in Mother Earth. Ask to be grounded in Mother Earth. Ask your guides to help you turn down the volume on what you're experiencing, whatever that is, okay? Catherine says that's trippy at the food store. Just hopped on. Anything to prep for this one besides not eating beforehand? Had an energetically busy morning. Blech. I can't even speak right now. I think I need to go meditate after this one. Be in a place of allowing. Simply be in a place of allowing. At the beginning, I'm walking you through like focusing on the breath. Remember, it's all about the breath. That will always bring whatever situation you're experiencing, whatever you are experiencing in your energy, it will bring you back around to the present moment and help you discern what's happening. So the breath is very important. Any other questions or comments before we sign off? Pretty crazy. So, I can't wait to bring in the next ones, because it feels like it's intensifying each time we run these. So I added, I don't know if you guys saw, but in the pinned post, I added, thanks Catherine, love you too. I added a couple other things. I don't know if you saw the Divine Mind, Divine Soul, Divine Spirit connection. We're going to do that on the 15th, which is Friday. And then on the 16th, we have our next Abundance Grid Activation Part 3, which is Wealth and Love. But then I added the Raise Your Money Thermostat guided meditation. So that's going to be really, really awesome. And I want you guys to be there live for it, because I'm going to help you with your money thermostat right there live. So if you can make it, please do try to make it live. That's going to be Monday the 18th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. It's a really fun way to dynamically work with your money ceiling and where you have your money ceiling currently set. You know, even though abundance means so many more things for many of us, and here to be supported in our 3D reality, it's very much about money. And so wherever we have our money ceiling set, we need to nudge that forward a little bit, especially as we move into 2018, because this is going to be a very, very prosperous and abundant year for many of us. And if we're stuck with certain miasms, frozen miasms about money, especially where we set our money thermostat, and it's very much something that we set, we can tweak that, we can nudge it. And this is a guided meditation that you can do over and over and over again as we continue to up level. This is something that you want to be doing, and working with money is a very dynamic energy field, which it is. So try to join live for that. Yeah, we were all on that ride. Woo! Yeah, so now I need to eat something because I need to ground myself. I'm going to go run around with my doggy outside too. I'm going to be popping on in my Ascending Earth Creatrix group later on today to talk about some things that are also happening. As I mentioned at the beginning here, the dust is settling. A lot of the intense energies that we've been feeling over the last 7 or 8 days is we're starting to have this kind of peek through the clouds a little bit. So this is a great time to get certain structures in place, and I'm going to be talking about that later in Ascending Earth Creatrix. So I'm so glad to share this space with you guys. I love you so much. Please feel free to keep putting in the comments what's coming up for you, or what's integrating, what's processing, what you saw or what you're continuing to see with this activation here today of these 2 abundance light codes. And as always, so much love and light.